Hi everybody, I'm getting back at you with a new video, and due to unforeseen technical difficulties, I was reassigned the movie Moonlight, and I'm saying this right now so you guys could be warned of spoilers. So this is your spoiler warning, and I'm sorry if I spoil anything. I really hate doing that, but moving on, this is just going to be the same assignment as assigned, rather just switching up the movie. I'll still be talking about the background, I don't know actually how to say the word, sound, editing, and the cinematography, and jumping right into it, I want to talk about the background and the scene that I thought really was a good way to emphasize that, and that was in the scene where Little was trying to escape and go on this train ride to his friend on the beach. Basically, it was silent for the most part, and that really helped with the scene, but what I liked the most of all of that is the background and how there was a lack of people, but every once in a while there would be one or two that was just kind of put in that you didn't really see much of. Like, you'll see like their feet, or there was this one guy who was mopping the ground. And I thought that was just a good way to have like world building, but at the same time still carry the mood of that the character was trying to express throughout that time. Then moving on, I want to talk about the music. And for this part, I thought the music was amazing for this movie. One scene in particular that really glorified the music was the scene where Little, our main character, and this man who picked him up basically are learning how to swim. He's teaching Little how to swim. And it goes pretty much completely silent except for some dialogue, and then you hear these violins in the background. And it's just so harmonizing with the ocean, and it feels like as if the ocean had a song, it would be, the violins would be playing that song. Moving on, cinematography. That is rather simple for me. I'm not too hard to please in that area. But what I thought was the best cinematography of this film is when they decided to attach, I think maybe even a GoPro or some kind of camera to a car door, and they had this character open up the car door and close it. Just that action alone I thought was really cool and unique to see, and I didn't really expect that when watching that one particular scene. Last but not least is editing, and this is a scene that goes across a couple different areas due to it flashbacking as well. But basically, this scene is when Little was getting yelled at by his mother, when she's in this drugged phase, I guess. I don't really know how to describe it, but she was drugged up on drugs. And basically, it's really well played out. Like, they have a beautiful sense of editing. The light is coming in from the mom's side of the room. It's a nice bright pink light to help show her definition, and the acting in this scene was amazing too. But the way it's all played out is it's really silent. You hear just little noises here and there. It's no dialogue or anything, and it's played really drawn out and slow. It's not like slow motion, but it's really slow. And the way it was shot, comparing the two reverse shots, it's a nice contrast, and comparing the two, it's really something to behold for that entire scene. And the fact that you can just sense the silence is adding to it, because you could see the main character Little just taking it, and almost to the effect of him zoning out. And that's what I picked up from it, is like there's silence because he's so used to being yelled at like this that he's just zoned out and become numb to it. And what's nice about the scene is it comes back later in Little's life during the Black chapter. in one of his dreams where they had refreshed the scene and made it something new by reversing it, adding some sound, and I think also causing it to go slow motion in some points. I haven't quite remembered that exactly. But it's new and refreshing, though it's the same exact scene, and it's still just as powerful as the first time you see it. Now, moving on to the main question, which is choose 1 minute of the sequence that that interests you and the stylistic motif of the film, and explain why this helps the story. And I had picked the scene where did I pick? Oh, the scene where Little is finally starting to stand up for himself. This is when he was in his teenage years, and throughout the scene, it starts off really, really slow, and all you really hear is the outside noise. There's no music, and there's very little dialogue throughout this entire thing. And this scene really emphasizes the anger and the stoicism, I guess would be the word, of Little at that moment. He dunks his head into the water because of the battle he just took a couple punches prior to that scene, and the next day, I guess, he walks into school with a new gait of, like, anger, and then also just frustration you could see, and then it's just like a little bit of pride, if you asked me. He walks with a prideful gait, and the cinematography of this scene is just following him throughout school and just following him through it, and the way it's edited is it's just like the mother scene where it's really slow and drawn out. It has a really good suspenseful build-up to the final of where it's a wide shot of just him walking into the class. It stabilizes the camera, and then he picks up the chair and whacks the bully, basically. That was a satisfying scene, that's for sure. Everything of that scene really helps the emotion and really drives it home what he's about to do and what he's turning into, basically, and how he stands up for himself. And it's quite a powerful scene, if not one of the most powerfuls in the movie, if you ask me. And yeah. As for that, I'm gonna get back at you with part 2 of this video, so see you there. Bye now.